Hey there, welcome back to the Barnabas Cyclone arcade game. In this video, we're going to actually program our buttons. So in the previous one, I showed you how a button works and also how to wire it up to your Uno. So if you need help with that, you can look at the previous video. But for now, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here's our wiring diagram for our button on the whiteboard. We have the top two legs are connected to pin 10 and the bottom two legs are connected to G and D. Let's talk again. Let's review how it works. Okay, so when I press the button, pin 10 is going to have a path to G and D because the A leg and the B leg, they're going to be connected whenever you push the button. So here's our little path here. I'll be able to go into G and D. Okay, but when I don't press the button, what happens? What's pin 10 going to be able to connect to? Pin 10, if I don't press the button, A is not connected to B. It can't pass down, so it's stuck. Sorry, pin 10, you're out of luck. All right. Now, when we look over to the coding, the way that G and D is going to be represented is pressed. There's a word called pressed. I'll show you in a second. But I want you to just remember, I'll mention it now. Pressed means G and D. Not pressed means not G and D. Okay, pressed means G and D. Not pressed means not G and D. Okay, good. Let's go to our code. All right. So what we want to do is I want to make it so that if I press the button on the blink 2, the second LED, meaning this, if you look at my bottom right, this LED is LED 2, which is controlled by the blink 2 subroutine. So if the light is here, I want it to pause there for 5 seconds. Okay. So if I press the button like all on these other ones, nothing's gonna happen. But if I press the button while it's here, I want it to pause for 5 seconds. Let's try. So I go to control and I get this if do thing. Okay, let's bring it over. And I want to put it when I'm during my blink 2 thing. Let's put it right here, my blink 2 subroutine. Okay. So why do I put it here? Because let's look at blink 2. It turns it on and then waits here for 20.25 seconds. So at this point in the code, the number 2 light is on. And at that point, I want to ask the question, is the button pressed? That's why I want to put it right here. Okay, I want to put it right after, right at the point when the light is on. Okay. Now you might ask, can I put it here? Yeah, you could put it here too. So either way, because the light has turned on and you can check right away, or do we want to wait 0.25 seconds and then check? At this point, it doesn't really matter. So either way, but we don't want to put it after the off, because at off, the light's already turned off. We want to check if the button's pressed when the light is on. So we want to make sure it's before this block here. So let me talk a little bit about this orange block. This if do is called a conditional block. Condition means that it only happens sometimes. So all these other blocks here, these green and these wait blocks, kind of a brown color, they're not conditional. It happens all the time. So let me just take this out for a second. Okay, let's put the conditional if to the side. The way our code worked before is that no matter what, all this stuff's going to happen in a sequence, in order, right? So blink 2 is going to do on, wait, off, wait. And blink 3 is going to do the same, on, wait, off, wait. Like no matter what happens, if you press the button, if the weather is raining or shining, if you're feeling in a good mood or a bad mood, it doesn't matter. It's just always going to do that, so it's non-conditional. So what's an example of a non-conditional thing in life? I don't know, maybe like the sun comes up. The sun's going to come up every day. No matter what happens, don't worry, it's coming up. If it doesn't come up, something is very wrong, right? But that's an example of that's going to always happen. But what's something that's more conditional? For example, You know, I got a 3-year-old son. Eating candy is conditional. It does not happen all the time. But if you eat your broccoli, then you can get some candy. Something like that. You feeling me? So when you're a kid, there's a lot of conditionals. Usually the conditionals are like, they have to do with a lot of good things. Like if you do your homework, then you can go play. You can't just go play all the time, right? You got to do your homework first, then play, right? So that's if you want to add something that doesn't happen all the time, it only happens sometimes, you need the conditional. That's what this if is. So let's go ahead and put it back here. Now it's going to ask a question. The question is like, if what? If what? So in my example with my sons, if you eat your broccoli. So the question is like, did you eat your broccoli? Did you eat your broccoli? If you ate your broccoli, then do whatever we're going to put in here. So let's go to our sensors, our blue sensors drawer. And look, there's a button. So I take this whole thing and put it in there. Okay, kind of expanded it. So it's covering these. Maybe what I'll do is move these a little bit so it's not as confusing. Okay. So if button equals pressed. Remember, pressed is the same as G and D, right? So when I press it, what happens? When I press it, the pin 10 is going to go to G and D. Let's go back here. When I press it, pin 10 is going to be able to get all the way to G and D. That's why I said to remember, okay? So it should be when it's, if I want to do something when it's pressed, this should say pressed. If I want to do reverse, you would say not pressed. I want it pressed, and this is blank here. It shouldn't be blank. We should go to constants, this pink drawer, and we can grab one of these white numbers here. Stick it in. 123? No. What pin number did we connect the button to? Going back here, number 10. There we go. Okay, so our question, our conditional question is, if pin number 10 equals pressed, which is the same as if pin number 10 equals G and D, which means when we press the button, right? So when we press the button, what do we want to do? I want to wait here for 5 seconds. So I'm going to go to control, get a wait 5 seconds. That's it. It should work. So now we're in our subroutine blink 2. We have this conditional block saying if I'm blinking, if I've turned on blink 2, at this point, right after I turn it on, check to see if I press the button. If I did press it, then wait 5 seconds. If I didn't press it, then what it's going to do is just going to skip this wait and then just go ahead and along with whatever it's doing and just going to keep doing the rest of the stuff. Let's try. I need to plug, oh, I didn't plug my cable in. You've probably made this mistake as well by now. Common mistake. Make sure you plug your USB cable in. Okay. And just so you know too, it's why is it blinking all the way around? Because it remembers my old code. So anytime you put code on there, it's just gonna stay on there until you change it. It's got a memory. Okay, let's upload this. Okay, got the check mark. Okay, are we good? Let me try to press the button when we're on. Look, I got it. And it's staying there for 5 seconds and then there. Now, if I push it at the other lights, nothing's going to happen. But when I push it there, it stopped. Cool. So our button's working. Now I want to add something. We're going to add some more functionality, some more features, because in the Cyclone arcade game, when you push the button, it should actually stop at all the lights because it can show you that you lost, right? So it's like, oh, you got it wrong. It's going to actually stay there and tell you you're wrong. But right now, if I press it during the other lights, nothing happens. I actually want it to stop there as well. In other words, I want it to stop at all the lights. I want it to stop wherever the light is whenever I press the button. So how do I do that? Well, I could do this. I could take this, duplicate it, and put it in all the subroutines, right? But I don't want to do that because it's going to look a little bit messy. Because this orange thing is so long. So I'm going to make a subroutine. I'm going to subroutine this do something here. I'm going to put it. So right now my code is starting to look a little bit crazy. So I'm going to try to clean it up. Then I'm going to move this into my subroutine, put it down here, and I'm going to call this, let's call it something. What should it be called? Check lights. I'll call it check lights. Okay. And then what do I want to do? Then I want to do check light on every single one of our subroutines here. Clean it up again. I like to keep a neat room so it's easy to see what's going on. So I'm going to line everything up again. That's pretty good. And then I go to my subroutines, go down. You might say, where is it? Where is it? Yeah, you got to scroll down. Check light, where does it go? Right after I turn it on. Boom. And then I can click here and duplicate my subroutine call. Boom. Duplicate. Duplicate again. Duplicate again. Super nice, right? And my code doesn't look super crazy either. Duplicate. Duplicate. There we go, I did it. So now in every single subroutine that blinks all the different lights, it will check. It will check to see, after every light is on, it will check to see if I press the button and wait there for 5 seconds if I did press the button. Let's upload. Okay, now it should stop whenever I press the button. I'm pressing now. Now. Okay, that worked. Pressing now. So it looks like I need to hold it down for a little bit. Now. It looks like the way that the code works right now, if I just click it really fast, it might not stop. But if you hold it down, then it should stop. So there. Yep, see? That one. And that one. You know what? I'm thinking maybe. So whenever your code is kind of acting like this, it's like I want it to stop right away. Seems like it doesn't catch right away, right after the light turns on. Maybe it's because I put the check light after the wait. Okay, so if we think about it, let's look at the blink 8 subroutine. The light turns on, it waits for 0.25 seconds. So as your Uno computer brain's waiting, it's not doing anything. It's not checking anything. It's not checking if you press the button. So if you press the button during this wait, what's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen, right? But if you're trying to press the button right after, then maybe what happens if we put the check light before the wait. I wonder if that helps us a little bit. I'm actually not sure, but we're gonna try this. See, I'm gonna change it to the check light before the wait. We're learning. Oh, we're learning together. Pull this down. This is kind of the, you just experiment, right? Don't really know. You think you know. Oh, this one's not right. Check light needs to be up here. You think you know. Okay, check. Okay, so check light first, and then the wait. Okay, so right when it turns on, right after it turns on, it's going to check for the light to see if you pressed, and then it's going to wait, and then it's going to keep on going. Let's see if it makes any difference so that my button reacts better. Okay. Looks like it doesn't, you still need to kind of hold it down, but let me see. Okay. So it looks like the button works so-so. So let's say when it goes on a certain light, press and hold down. It works okay, but I would like to have it work even better. But that's something we can explore in the next video. But on this one, I want to show you just kind of how to get it working. In the next video, let's go ahead and we're going to fine tune this even more. And also, we need it to act differently, behave differently whenever we press the button on the winning light, right? Okay, so I'll leave it at that for now. Maybe before the next video, if you want to play with it to try to kind of get the button to react better, then feel free to do that as well. Maybe it has to do with the weight on here too. What happens if we speed that up? Does it react better? Does it react worse? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But that's it for now. The next video, we're going to go ahead and fine tune this button thing. All right, bye for now.